I had something come up for me that I really wanted to share, and it was around, Karen, what you shared about the difference between counseling and coaching. And I have a very personal experience about that I would love to bring up. So, in my early 20s, I went to university, and I do have a background in psychology. And then I had a baby, and I got married, had babies, and just focused on that. And then moved to New Zealand, and 18 years later had another two babies here in New Zealand. So I have four children. And 18 years later, from when I did my background in psychology, I decided to go back into studying mental health. So I went back to university, and I began studying mental health. Um, and I was going through my own challenges. I thought that I was doing it because I wanted to save the world, well, support the world. But really, I was doing it because I was struggling with my own relationships in my life with all of my children in different ways. I had two teenagers then, a toddler, and two toddlers. So I've quite a age gap difference. And I was struggling. I didn't want to be here. I knew I couldn't go anywhere. And so I thought I'm just going to dive into taking my attention off of what was going on in my home and do something that I may serve the world. And so the time difference between me studying in my early 20s to then was 18 years. And as I was studying, I realized that there wasn't a big difference in what I learned back then. There weren't many solutions that I found, and this is, of course, my experience, but it was very old, a very old paradigm that they just kept teaching over and over again. The only thing that I did notice that was very different was the DSM, which is the psychological Bible, where diagnoses keep getting added. That was getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Yet there weren't very many solutions. And so I graduated with my mental health diploma, and I was already working out in the field doing my practical work, and realized that there weren't very many solutions. And but during this time as well, I was always also starting to do my own personal work and personal development. And I really dived in. And so for 8 months, I remember I completely committed to doing coaching, to doing life coaching, to doing personal development coaching, to doing healing of my old patterns and seeing what was needed. And as I was doing that, my relationship with my children and my husband naturally began to change, because my relationship with myself began to change. And I remember asking myself this question: how do I teach this to other children? And as it happens, I believe I can remember it was almost instantly that I saw the advertisement for Adventures in Wisdom. And because I also share through stories, real stories in my life, I was like, yes, this is it. And I never looked back. So I just wanted to share that, having that perspective around being in the arena of learning about counseling and actually doing it, and also doing life coaching. There's a huge difference, and the results from my experience and from my clients and my own life has been exponential. So I just wanted to share that.
I just wanted to add, I've had a couple of parents that have also told me just the difference between some kids that I've already started coaching with, that have been in other therapies and been seeing psychologists and didn't have any long-term effects. And at a point where the kids didn't even want to go back to their sessions, and just seeing the difference of how you approach a child and how the Adventures in Wisdom system is specifically designed to be able to get them to interact with all our amazing activities that we do and incorporate into the skill books. And they've told me quite a few that the difference they've seen from their children going through the normal coaching or consulting system, as opposed to coming onto our coaching system, is phenomenal. It's just, they just seem to grasp it. And I think also coming from a coach as opposed to a doctor or a parent or a teacher who's always preaching more than teaching them through these fun activities and stories, they just grasp it and they're able to see themselves in the stories, and it's therefore so much easier for them to put it into practice in their own lives. So the storytelling and the activities that form part of the program makes all the difference.
Wow,
Thank you.
thanks for sharing that, Ina. That is so powerful. And what's interesting is that life coaching is such a huge component of the mental wellness solution that most people are not aware of. And it's one of the reasons why we're really working on getting some visibility into everything that you're doing and the results y'all are getting with children, so that parents know that if they see their child struggling a little bit, that the child may not need counseling. They might just need a coach in a safe environment, someplace to explore. These mindset skills are incredible in helping children just really see that magnificence inside of themselves, to own that, to stretch outside of their comfort zone and go for their goals. And it's not just for children who are struggling, it's also for children who are wanting to be the best versions of themselves, to go for goals, whether it's with a sports team, academically, whatever it is. And y'all just blew me away today. Karen did all the prep work and she heard your stories. This is the first I've heard them, and I've literally been like fighting back the tears. I have so much gratitude to all of you for the work that you're doing, and I just feel so honored that you're part of our community and bringing this work to the world. It just blows me away. Thank you, all of you.